Hello, Froggy here, and today we'll be getting out of box in Hypernet Current. We're going to be doing a double IRB, so you're going to want to load up No Time Left on Neomuna. This route comes from the work of Avvy, Adelaide, and BurgundyPetal. They figured out a spot that you could IRB onto one of the Blights in Hypernet Current. Unfortunately, there's no good land to stand on, but there is if you do 2 IRBs. So let's get heading over to the first one. You'll want to have someone else going forwards in the mission to set up for the Autorez, but I'll show that more when the time is right. In the meantime, you're going to want to head over to Radiozond. We'll be setting our first IRB point a bit of the way in. You can do this on any class, but you're going to want to be able to Sparrow fly, because once we're out of box, it really helps get you places. You don't need to grapple here, you can jump around, but it's just a bit easier. Gotta go between the pipe and the ceiling here. And now you can just drop and walk across. You could also jump around up top, but I just find this a bit easier. You can do this route with just 2 people, but it's a lot better with 3 because you can keep one person out of box after the first IRB, and then everyone can join. Anyways, now that we're over here, it's time to climb back up. Technically anything around here should work, but I find this a bit more convenient. And there we go. First IRB point set. Now we just have to die to the Leeming Harbor load without dying before then. I find it's easiest to just go back into the map here, because the path on the outside is a little bit fraught with kill barriers. It's fairly easy to get up with a grapple, but there are plenty of other ways to get up here. We're going to be getting right back out of the map in a moment. But I guess first we can grab some free glimmer. We're going to want to fly right underneath this section. That'll put you back outside the map. And conveniently, pretty much right next to the backside of the load. If you walk slowly against this wall, you'll probably die. Worst case, you just go around for another loop. Now it's time for the Autorez. You want to clear out all of the enemies, and once you take care of this tank, it'll trigger the first Autorez. If you're doing it with 3, you might as well have someone stay back for safety so you don't accidentally wipe. Anyways, when the tank explodes, that'll trigger the Autorez. We'd already used the Autorez to get Adelaide out, so we had to get this res the old-fashioned way. Next up, IRB's spot number 2. I'm not super fast at Sparrow flying, so you'll see Adelaide has already beat me there. You're gonna want to make your way to this cliff face, and the next spot to die is about in this sort of vertex corner here. Avvy is already at the destination, so she'll be able to get the res once I die to the next load zone. Now we just have to get over to Hypernet Current without dying. You want to get some height to avoid the side of the box. Much safer to drop in from the top. And probably want to avoid the beams if there happens to be a public event going on. Melee or sword swing or something will help prevent any fall damage. We'll be using a hole at the end of Maya's retreat. There is a hole in the cave area, but that has you playing with a few more turn back timers than I would want to play around with. There is a hole that is almost large enough for a guardian right down here. Luckily, with a melee or even a sword swing, you can pull yourself through. Now we just have to make our way into IN.GRESS, the zone that contains Hypernet Current. There's a lot of sort of intangible walls here, so it can be a little bit disorienting. But just stick near to the blue structure and you should make it. You want to keep a little bit of height here to avoid death barriers. And then drop height to avoid turnbacks. You see those red squares? You're going the right way. The load zone here is right in the middle of that circular archway sort of thing. Best bet is to eager edge or otherwise move quickly into the side here. As you can see, I failed, but luckily this one is repeatable too, but it's a little less obvious, so I'll go ahead and show you how to climb back up out of here so you can try again. It's not too bad to jump up most of this, though I guess not quite there. But I would recommend being on either strand or stasis to help make this climb a lot easier. There's pretty much always another blocky surface to jump to. You can see the hole we're heading to right up there. And now we're good to try again. Although it always takes me a moment to reorient myself after I get back out here. Let's see. Would have come around from this side. Turnbacks definitely aren't something that we want. I think I've got it now. Just gotta pass through this intangible wall over here. And bear left. Let's give this another shot. Might help a little bit if the angle is a bit more shallow. Not too sure. That was actually the only time I've failed to die to this load. And there we go. Time for Autorez number 2. After you get the tank, just drive it forwards a little bit. That's it. That's the Autorez. Once again, we've already got someone here. Avvy will be getting my res. And we're out. Time to take a look around. We've got the normal sort of Vex domain blue going on and weird sort of structures. For the most part, the ball sections of the taken blights are solid, the blobby bits are not. But yeah, the backgrounds here are quite nice, and luckily if you're away from the regular path in Hypernet Current, you can summon Sparrows. So that's not too much of a problem either. We can fly around to our heart's content. You could substitute grapple flying, but Sparrows are definitely the preferred way to move around out here. There is just too much space to cover. Let's see if this structure here is solid. A lot of the stuff out here is not. So I would definitely be careful before putting too much faith in any surface you spot. Nope. Alas, I was hoping to get a good view of the boss Blight area from up there. Let's check this sort of arc-like structure. I'm just gonna drop a Sparrow on. If it explodes, it's solid. It is not solid. What about these things over here? Also not solid. Kind of trippy to fly through them. And starting to feel a little bit PlayStation 2 over here. That is quite the view. Anyways, I think I saw some blights over in this direction. So I'm just going to fly out. Nice little lighting change. More blobby blight. And we've got the spheres. These guys are pretty much universally solid. And whoa. Not sure what's causing that, but that is a weird combination of effects. And we've got 3 out here now. Welcome to the party, Adelaide. Now let's go see what else we can find. It looks like there's a bit more to this pile of blights. So let's see if we can get to the top. The main structure isn't solid, but the various blights are. Kind of interesting when you're passing through the edge of it. So Avvy and Adelaide let me know that there are some giant structures way out to the side. I'm gonna go see if I can reach them. Not too far off to the side, you'll find a kind of transition layer. And there are towers out there. They are quite a ways away in the wrong direction, so I'll get back to you later. It took so long to fly out here that the music sort of gave up, I guess. There's a third pillar way out there. But yeah, it took probably about 10 minutes of Sparrow flying for me to get here. Ah! A little bit more music. But yeah, it's definitely worth it for the view. Check that out. This game sure does have some breathtaking vantage points. Let's go ahead and get on top of the next one. I really don't know what's going on with the music now. Well, that'll about wrap things up here. Thanks again to Avvy, Adelaide, and BurgundyPetal for routing this IRB. It's always very cool to see other people figuring out these complicated routes. But before I go, I'll just leave you with some more pretty footage and my attempt to drop into the boss arena. Spoilers, it did not go terribly well.
Guardian down.